So why am I starting a podcast and what gear do I plan on using? Well, we're going to talk about it in today's episode. Hey everybody, Joshua Verwers back here once again, and I am so glad that you could join me here today. If you are new to this channel, I just want to let you know that every time I upload a video, it's designed to bring you some information and inspiration to help you live by faith. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way YouTube notifies you every time I upload a new video. So like I just mentioned, I'm planning on this podcast, and I've been talking to you guys about this for months, and I think I have finally got a good vision and a direction of where we're going to go with it, and I finally purchased some equipment to get us started. Now, if I just jump out with why am I starting a podcast in general? Well, you may or may not know this, but I actually launched this YouTube channel and started uploading videos May 12th of 2018. So here we are about a year later, it's May of 2019, and God's been doing some amazing things through what I'm referring to as this digital ministry, and I'm able to connect with a lot of you, really to encourage you to take your faith and put it into your life in such a way that you actually show the love of God everywhere you go. And that's essentially what my goal is. It's to encourage you to live by your faith in Jesus Christ. It's also just bringing God's love here in this digital world, because when I first started this, it was all about God just getting on my heart and saying, hey Josh, what about the Great Commission? You see, God told me to go into all of the world, and all of a sudden I realized, wait, there's a digital world that I've been neglecting. And so that's why I did this. Now, a podcast is actually going to take the next step in this journey of not only me sharing in more of the digital realm, but the way I'm going to run this podcast will hopefully help you do the same thing that I'm doing. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to be recording some videos, and yes, there are going to be videos here on the YouTube channel, but also podcasts that will be on your favorite podcast directory. And these are going to be designed around conversations of the stories and the strategies of really sharing God's love in the digital world. And I think I'm just going to call it the Digital Ministry Podcast. Because I believe the most effective way for us to really just flood this world with the love of God is not for me to try to do it all, but for all of us to come together, encourage one another so that we all go out and we all share God's love. That gospel message about how much God loves us, that He sent His Son to die for us, needs to be heard far and wide. And the more people we have doing what I'm doing here and what others like us are doing here, the better. The more effective we'll become in really getting that message out there. And so I want to basically take you along the journey of what I've been learning while I'm learning it, almost in real time, and then giving you that same information so you can do it in your way. So if you've been around this channel for any length of time, you probably understand that I not only want to bring you content and consistent content, but I want to bring you consistent quality content. I want to make sure that the video that you're seeing is high quality. I also want to make sure that the background is pleasing to the eye, that it gives you a little bit of insight into my personality without being overly distracting. I also want to make sure that the audio that you're hearing is actually of a quality audio, which then when we come to a podcast, I want to make sure that it's a high quality. Now, for several months, I've been using a Shure microphone, and you've seen it in my podcast. It's the Shure PG42 USB, and it's a USB condenser microphone, which basically means it does a great job of picking up all of the sounds that could possibly be there, and it is a high-quality mic. However, because it's a condenser, it picks up everything, and there have been times in the live stream when I've had my headphones on, and you know what I hear? I hear the dog on the other side of the house tapping around on the hardwood floors. When I'm recording a podcast in this setting, I don't want you to hear that. So that means I needed a more dynamic microphone, which is why I picked up this one. So it's all starting off with this one. This is the Shure SM7B, and this is a dynamic microphone, which means it's going to do a good job of canceling out a lot of the background noise. Here in my bedroom, which is my studio, so to speak, this has not been treated. There's a lot of echoes and a lot of sounds in here, and this microphone is going to be doing a great job of canceling all of those out. The other reason that I really wanted this is because I am doing video I wanted it to look pleasing. I wanted the aesthetics to look really good, so that way when I upload the video, it kind of keeps with this overall theme. Now, all that being said, I haven't even opened this up, so how about we go ahead and get to it? Woo! This thing's heavy. It is a beast of a microphone. It is so much heavier than my other Shure. And come on, I mean, look at this, guys. Do you see how good this thing looks? It is just, come on, it looks really good, and I know the sound is amazing on it, so I'm excited to use that thing. So I did pick up another mic boom arm. One, because this thing is a beast, it is very heavy, and my old mic boom arm would not handle it. So I decided that I was going to pick this up. This is the Compass from Blue, and this microphone stand, again, the main reason I bought it, aesthetics, the way it looks. Let's take a look at this. Look at this thing. Look how, man. See, this is going to be able to set here on the desk and be up and out of my way. But the aesthetics, this is so nice. It looks so good. But I'm also a fan of the cable management and how right here there's a channel in the back. And let me see if I can get this to show you. Look at that. Look at how slick this winds up working, where it'll just hold those in and tuck the cable in so you'll never see it. I'm excited for this one. Most of the podcasters that I'm seeing, especially if they're doing any type of a traveling with it, they're using the Zoom H6. Now, with this microphone, because it's dynamic, one of the things you gotta do is you gotta amplify the sound because it's kind of quiet. And usually the H6 needs some type of a cloud lifter or a FET head in order to do that. So I opted, instead of going the H6 and the cloud lifter FET head route, what I wanted to do was actually grab the Zoom F4, which actually has a better built-in gain, and it's really a field recorder. The other thing about the Zoom F4 is it has built-in dual SD card slots, so in case one fails, I'm going to have a redundancy on it, which is good because if I'm recording these type of videos and the podcast and using this, if it's an interview, I may only get one shot to do that interview, and I want to make sure that I have a backup just in case anything goes wrong, because it's valuable content that I want to bring to you. Look at that thing right there. Come on. I mean, this thing, yeah, this'll work for me. This'll work good. I'm excited for this one. I'm really excited to test this thing out. The other thing that I hear it does is it's supposed to have this mounting plate. I'm hoping it has it with it, because what this will actually allow me to do, and it does. What this will essentially allow me to do is place this on top here so I can then mount that camera that you guys are looking at me through on top of this, which will be great for picking up better audio, and just in case I'm ever recording and the camera dies on me, I've got the audio saved, so I'd just be out a little bit of video. And then of course the only other things that I really need is a couple SD cards. Obviously I need an XLR cable because this is an XLR mic. I also decided to get this little guy. This is the Rode VXLR, which essentially will take the 3.5 jack on the Rode mics and it will convert it over into XLR. So this is something that will help me when it comes to using the Rode Wireless Go's or even my Rode Video Micro. I can plug it straight in here and then into the Zoom recorder. Then I just bought an audio extension cable, and this one I'm kind of excited for. This is the Mi Professional M6 Pro, and essentially this is just an internal ear monitor. And so what I'm looking for this one to be is essentially when I'm listening to the podcast, listening to the audio that's coming off of here, or even in my live streams, I don't have any type of a feedback. And again, aesthetics, the way it looks. Instead of doing something like this, I'll have something like this. And that way, I'll still be able to hear the sound without it being too distracting, or at least what I feel is a little more distracting. So that's essentially the gear that I purchased, the gear that I'm going to be using for this podcast. So my goal is over the next few weeks, you're going to actually see the official release of this podcast. I'll let you know here when it drops, and you'll be able to catch it all out. Also, for those of you that are into podcasts or just wanting to know more about this gear, I'll go ahead and leave links to all of this gear down in the description below. You can check it out, you can pick it up, do whatever you like. And I guess that only leaves one question for you. What does it actually sound like? Well, here you go. So this is just a little bit of an audio sample for you guys of what my Rode Video Micro sitting on top of my Canon M50 sounds like with no audio processing. It's about 5 feet away. Now I'll go ahead and switch over and you can hear it now with just a little bit of audio processing on that same Rode Video Micro on the Canon M50. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch over. So now we're listening to the Shure SM7B, which is going through my Zoom F4 field recorder with no audio processing at this point. And here's what it sounds like going through the SM7B to the field recorder, the Zoom F4, with a little bit of audio processing. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that sounds like a world of difference to me. I'm excited for the direction this podcast is going to be taking. I'm excited to hear what's going to come out, some of the stories that we're going to be talking about, some of the strategies that we're going to be discussing. If there is a certain topic that you guys would like me to tackle, go ahead and let me know. Just drop it down in the comments section below, because I would love for this podcast to be more than just a monologue. I want it to be a dialogue where we're having a conversation back and forth, and I'll also be bringing in some guests from time to time, and we'll be having a discussion with them as well. Now, until we get this all started, I just want you all to stay blessed, enjoy God's best, and have a fantastic weekend. We've got stickers, we've got manuals, we have larger windscreen, which I will never use because, well, I'll never use it. I mean, come on. This is going to work like a gem here.